Hey everyone, and welcome to the new talk show, Webinar or Infomercial. My name is Tracy Lewis Stokel, and I am here to chat with you a little bit today about how to make sure if you're offering webinars for your business that you're doing it in the right way and that they're effective for building know, like, and trust for your business and creating fans and also selling the product, which of course is the reason that you're there. If you follow me on my Facebook page over at Tracy Teaches, you've probably heard me talk a little bit about my opinion of webinars in the past. And I have to admit, I have been very anti-webinar for quite some time. I have, as an online course creator and, as a consultant for my clients and coach, I've watched some really horrific webinars. And I'm a student of the craft, obviously. So I watch a lot. If there's some sort of sponsored post and I'm not doing something, I probably will sign up and just watch the webinar. It's awesome to see what tactics people are using. Sometimes I really learn things, and always I walk away with more knowledge about how people are creating their content, which is what it's all about. When I talk about educational content with my clients, they automatically think courses. But courses aren't the only thing that, the only kind of educational content. There's ebooks, there's blog posts. Your blog post should be in some way, shape, or form educational. There are workshops, boot camps, challenges, and of course, webinars. So I went on a rant last week. I watched a webinar by a very popular person in the online course world. She sells a lot of courses, and she was doing a webinar to sell one of her courses. And I watched the webinar. Is probably an hour long. I watched for about the first 35 minutes. The first 20 to 25 minutes were about who she was, how successful she was, how she's able to travel the world, all of the things that make her super-duper duper. There was a lot of comment in the chat, an uprising, if you will. From people going, hey, let's get to the content, you're wasting my time. Now, it's free content. That's a little rude, but I get it. I was kind of there with them. And then about the 25-minute mark, she launched into, all right, let's dive deep into the reason why we're here. Only we didn't dive deep. We floated a little bit around the top. It was very shallow dive. I hopped out after about 10 minutes of that because I have a policy about webinars, and I'll share that with you in a minute. I do not want to spend my time listening to some fluff that is nothing but fluff building up to a sales pitch. And here's the thing. This is Tracy Teaches policy number who knows. My rule. If you are going to ask someone to watch your educational content, whether you're putting that out there for free or whether you're charging them for that, you must give them value congruent, equal to, whatever, to their investment, right? So if you are going to sell a course for $3,000, $29, $99, $99, $97, and you're going to say it's $3,000, you must give them $3,000 worth of value. Their outcome from that course, should they do everything that you tell them to do, must be equal or greater to their investment. If your course is $97, same diff. You need to make sure, I know that's not good grammar, you need to make sure that their investment equals their outcome equals their investment, right? Same thing for free webinars. If you're asking me to invest an hour of my time, a half an hour of my time, 20 minutes of my time, however much time it is, You need to make sure that that is worth my time. I love infomercials. I love them. I love to sit Saturday morning, eat my Eggo waffle and have my coffee and sit and watch a couple of infomercials. I think they're intriguing. I love the sales pitch. I get really entertained by the like urgency and the energy of the salesperson. I like them. But I know it's an infomercial. And you know it's an infomercial because they put that little thing on the bottom of the screen that says, you know, like the network does not necessarily agree with the opinions, blah, blah, blah. Or it'll actually say like a little countdown timer in the corner. You know it's an infomercial. So if you are creating a webinar and you're saying, in this webinar, I'm going to teach you the 3 steps to building your email list quickly, then I'm not thinking infomercial. I'm thinking lesson, right? And I'm thinking, I know there'll be a sales pitch at the end. I'm fully aware that at the end of the webinar, there's going to be a sales pitch. But I'm enrolling because you're promising me 3 steps to building an email list quickly. And I want that. So when I get into your webinar, and also don't tell me it's live if it's not live. Just go ahead and say, enjoy this pre-recorded webinar. I don't know why we lie about it, because it's really obvious. And then once you lie to me once, you know, I don't trust you. So you opt into the webinar, you get in there, and you know, maybe they spend too much time telling you how wildly successful they are, why you should listen to them. My introduction, my name is Tracy. I am the Tracy behind Tracy Teaches. I'm an online course consultant and coach who helps my clients create educational content that their audience craves that will bring them back for more. I don't have to tell you how successful I am. First of all, you don't care. Second of all, not really any of your business. But if I've built myself up to be the expert in this niche, that I've lured you here to present this content to you, you obviously must believe that I'm the expert. Enough said. Why am I going to waste your time and my time talking about how kick-ass I am? You're going to know how kick-ass I am at the end of that lesson when I teach you the thing that I lured you there to teach you, right? Right. Just agree. So you get into the lesson finally, and then you want the meat, right? Like, give me, I'm sorry for the vegetarians watching, you want the meat. Give me the content. And a good webinar delivers exactly what it promises. So if I've promised you 3 things, 3 tips to grow your email list quickly, that is exactly what I should get. I have actually, I just thought of this, listened to a webinar once that was 5 things you must do in your business, or five whatever. It was a checklist, 5 things. They covered 3 and then left me hanging and then gave me the sales pitch. I could maybe assume that I was going to get the other 2 in the thing if I bought the thing. But what I left feeling like was that probably they're just going to leave me hanging if I pay for the thing too, because you didn't give me the 5 things. You only gave me 3. Don't do that stuff, you guys. If you know me, you know my mantra, my reason for living, don't create educational content that sucks. Make sure that you're creating good content for the good people who are paying for it. Give them value. So make sure that you're actually delivering on your outcome. How do you do that? You give them wins, you give them early, you give them often, and you make sure that when you're looking back at your slide deck, before you present it, that you've actually given the things that you've delivered, that you're actually going to talk about, that you're actually going to give takeaways. I recently, over the weekend, and by the time you guys are watching this, that webinar will likely no longer be available. But at least Dharma, it was an Instagram course she was advertising. and it's like Instagram Boss or something, Insta Boss, something along those lines. I'm not an affiliate. I don't get anything for promoting this this webinar. But Sunday morning, super early, I'm scrolling Facebook. I see this webinar, and I'm like, yeah, I really have to pay more attention to Instagram for my business. It's one of my goals for this quarter. She promises in her webinar that she will give some, I don't remember the takeaway, honestly, what she promised. I know what I got out of it. But so I opt in. Webinar starts in 5 minutes because it's pre-recorded. I don't believe she ever at any point told me that it was live, which makes me happy. And then there we are watching the thing. Very quickly told us who she was, why it was important that we pay attention, and then she got right into, why Instagram is good for your business, why it's not too late, which is, something that I was automatically thinking that it might be too late because Instagram's been around forever. She overcame my initial objection immediately, which means that she was very in tune with who her ideal client was, who her listener was, which was awesome. And then she gave very clear instruction, very clear takeaways. So before she ever got to her sales pitch for her course that she's, selling, that, her reason for her webinar, I actually walked away not only feeling like, yes, I do need Instagram in my business, and I need this to be a priority. Inspired by some of the suggestions and things. I basically, when the webinar ended, I opened my phone to Instagram and started looking at what I was doing. And also had some key takeaways. I had action steps when I left that webinar, things that I could do right now to start growing my Instagram following and to start thinking about an Instagram strategy. Now, if Elise can give me this much value in a 40-minute webinar that she's giving me for free, if she's willing to give me that much value for free, then how freaking much value do you think you're going to get in her course that you're paying for? I'm only going to assume that it's exponential, right? I mean, if I got this much for free, then I'm probably getting whoa for if I paid for it. Now, I'm not in the market for an Instagram course. It's not something that I'm actively pursuing. It's my goal for the quarter. I didn't buy the course. Not in the budget, not something that I needed. But I was sold on Elise as an instructor of that content, and on her brand, absolutely. That's why I'm sharing her name with you and I'm talking about it. So well done. She never once read her slides to me. She gave beautiful examples. Her slide deck was gorgeous. She was engaging. The infomercial lasted 5 minutes in my frame of time, because it was enjoyable. This is what we strive for. If you are going to do an infomercial, because obviously you're selling something, or not an infomercial, a webinar. Obviously you're selling something. Everybody knows when you opt into a webinar, you're going to get a sales pitch at the end. We know this is going to be true. But you have to make sure that you're delivering on your promise. If not, maybe just hop on and be like, I want to tell you all about this product I'm launching, and you can join me at this time and I'll tell you about it. But I challenge you to really pay attention to the value that you're giving, to really make sure that you are teaching something that those people will be able to, almost tangible, right? That they'll be able to grab onto, and that they'll be able to say, I am so glad that I spent this hour doing this thing. I got value. And then whether or not they buy from you or not, they're going to remember that you did that. They're going to trust you because they're like, wow, she gave me this for free. And, I didn't even have to pay for this. And they're also going to feel like if I decide, or when I decide down the road that I want to invest in something that she offers, I know in my heart of hearts that it is going to be valuable, because Lord knows if she's willing to give this much away for free, then I am sure her paid content is phenomenal. That's how I felt about Elise when I was done with the webinar, and that's my challenge for you. So, call to action for you. If you are thinking of launching some sort of product with a webinar, first thing, think of it as an educational piece of content in and of itself. It needs to have certain pieces and parts and components. It needs to be engaging. There needs to be wins. There has to be takeaways. There must be value, right? You have to deliver on the outcome that you promise, which is the tenet of everything that we do here at Tracy Teaches, is making sure that we are learning adult learner psychology and learning theory and all of the tools in the education toolbox to make sure that you deliver. Don't create sucky content, right? Remember the mantra. So making sure that you're looking at that as a piece of educational content and doing it the right way. Because just like creating courses that suck, creating webinars that are actually infomercials that suck hurts your business. So we don't want that. We don't. We want your business to thrive, and we want you to create content that brings your audience back, craving more again and again and again. Thank you for watching. For all things Tracy Teaches and educational content, please, please, please subscribe so that you will never miss a video. And you can also catch some really crazy random lives over at the Tracy Teaches page on Facebook if you're a Facebooker. And then look for me over on Instagram too. I'm Tracy Lewis Stokel. I'm just working on building my Instagram following. So you could be a pioneer in my Instagram followers. I will see you there in all the places, and I will see you here again soon. Thanks for tuning in.